Hi there, I'm Megan and I go by Solar Glow Meditations. Tonight we're going to have a distance Reiki session where I have pre-selected some tarot cards and crystals to help guide the energy that we're working on tonight. If you're interested in either any of the crystals that I'm using or the tarot deck, I have those linked in the comments below, so don't feel like you need to remember them. I do need your consent to work on your energy, so either out loud in the comments or in your head, wherever you feel most comfortable, just consent to receive this energy healing. And let me know if you have any requests or suggestions or feedback or anything like that. I do read through those comments, so please be kind. You guys always are. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and if you guys are interested, I do have an ad-free version of this on my YouTube as well. It's a channel membership, cheaper than YouTube Premium. So if you'd like these without ads, that is the way to go. Yeah, let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with Ruby Zoite. And the theme for tonight's session is all about money. Money has been on the minds of a lot of people, rightfully so. There's a lot of things happening in the world that makes us feel all kind of unstable and uncertain about life. So I'd like to assuage some of those fears and get us back on the vibration of money so that we don't have to worry. And what's interesting is, as I was drawing these cards to figure out what we were working on tonight, the card Justice came out, but it came out sideways, which I don't normally draw cards sideways, but when it comes out of the deck like that, you just kind of have to go with what Spirit is saying. And justice is really, it's all about fairness or unfairness. So usually if it's read upright, it can be about justice and fairness. Whereas if it's upside down, it can be unjust or feel unfair. And so this sideways meaning to me, although it's not something that I typically do, very much feels like just is. It's coming back to this theory of Ra and we are one and the universe is whole. And this Ruby Zoite is really gonna ground us in that energy of oneness. We just are, it just is, everything is neutral, it just is, that's all there is. Assigning a meaning, a vibration, a good or bad dichotomy, it doesn't make sense because it is all of it. That feels very meta and kind of philosophical for a meditation, a Reiki healing. So don't think too deeply about it, just know on your soul level that it is. And even as I was starting to get ready to record the session, Spirit was in my ear about, here's the things you need to touch on for this reading. And the first one is going to be, you've got to get away from spending money. Just for a little while. And we're going to work with Budstone to help us with this. We've got to get away from this like impulsive need to shop and acquire and get that dopamine hit. And of course, there's still necessities that we need to acquire, like food and toothpaste and whatever else it may be. They're showing me horses, like horse food, I suppose. I can't imagine a huge swath of my audience has horses, but I just don't know. Oh, no, he's saying horse manure. Okay, we're going with this. Make sure you feed your pets still, huh? That's where we're gonna land here. And the whole reason for pulling back from this need to spend is that we need to refocus our efforts a little bit. And perhaps this is spirit telling me I need to, because I do. We're going to be working with some Kambaba jasper here. But we need to get away from spending so we can spend time cleaning. Have you shopped your house recently? I did so, and I had been thinking about how I wanted to get a diffuser for essential oils, and then I remembered I don't need to go buy one. I have one underneath my bathroom sink. All I needed to do was pull it out and prep it and get it ready. So I did, and I saved myself $40 or whatever it might have been just to go shop my house. And part of this is when we build up so much stuff, it tends to not move and flow, and that can become a subconscious block. If we don't use or touch everything in our house every so often, it's probably gathering dust, quite literally. And that carries energy, that holds energy in our house or apartment or condo or wherever it is you might live. And almost unintentionally, that stuff you're not using becomes stuck energy. Our outer world very much reflects our inner world. So if our inner world is full of stuckness and just things and thoughts that just are old and no longer serve us, perhaps they don't spark joy anymore, it becomes a burden. It's something you have to move around your house multiple times. If you're not using it and it just is something you need to clean and it doesn't spark joy, why are you holding on to it? What is it gonna do? What purpose does it serve besides being a burden of having to move this thing around to clean it? And that is how we can start to move this stuck energy. We need to move the things, get them to new homes, serve them back to the earth, and maybe not put them in the landfill if you can avoid it. But I am a huge user of our local Buy Nothing group. I give away so many things that I just don't need anymore, or I just don't use. And in fact, I've had a rhododendron that has been at my house in a pot for as long as we've lived here, which has been a very, very long time. And finally I was like, I'm never gonna plant this thing. It still clearly wants to grow. It's still growing leaves, it's still blooming. It's a little bit worse for the wear. I apologize to the plant, but I listed this on Buy Nothing, and so now it can be planted into the earth and go to a home where it will get a lot more sun than it was getting, and the water, and can spread out and become this rhododendron that can reach its full potential. but it was quite literally stuck, and we didn't need that energy here anymore. And I would have loved to have found a spot for it, but I just don't have one right now. So let me find a place where it can be better served. Spirit's telling me you should look at your kitchen drawers, and I've done a pretty good job of keeping the kitchen clear of things I don't need, although I do have some extra chopsticks that I could maybe pass along. But what is it in your house? Okay, here I am just rambling away telling you my story, and we need to come back and recognize that even though I'm giving you actions, we don't need to stress out about it. We don't need to jump up and do it right now. This is do it as you have the energy and the time, and when you have that impulse to sit down and shop, I want you to go and find something to give away instead. Or if it's not giving something away, maybe it's something to clean, something to organize, something to create flow, so you create less resistance and traction within your space. That energy just felt very heavy, so we're gonna keep going. We're moving right on to Malachi here, which is it's matching this dense energy. Okay. Here we are. Okay, so we're matching the energy of money flow now. That is where we have come down into. As you work through your space, you should feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more ease. You'll be saving money, which is one form of manifesting money just by holding on to it. You'll be creating a flow within your space to allow the new to flow in. We can't make space for new until we have cleared out the old. We have cleaned, we have taken care of our space, we have quite literally made room for new. Spirit is saying you have too many oracle card decks, you maybe need to pass a few along, and they're right. I have many I have not touched in a long time. And it very well could be that maybe I do need to keep all of them, but I need to find an alternate method to organize them, because clearly what I have isn't working right now. And that might be the answer. But the answer is to put the thought and intention into the space, move the energy, and flow it out. Make sure you keep breathing. Give yourself the space to rest and just be. That was a lot of energy, and I don't want you to come into this space of like judgment or feeling bad about yourself at all, because that's not what it is. It's reframing your energy flow to allow that money in. And with that, I think we will end this session here for tonight. Thank you so much for sticking with me. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.